Hi, everybody! Oh, I gotta, so that y'all can see Cocom. There, now y'all can see Cocom. Hey, DJ. Hey, Q. Hey, Potato. Hey, Alp. Um, I don't have an intro bit. I wanted to stream. It's been a minute since I streamed, so now I'm streaming. We're streaming Hades. I didn't even put on makeup. You're welcome. So guys, I was thinking, and I'm gonna put it before the council. Y'all are my council. I was thinking, what if I only started going by its and he zir pronouns with like the addendum that like if you're too much of a pussy for either of those, you can use they them.
I think it's a powerful decision.
I think it's.
I think that would. I think that would rule.
Big ambiguous genitals energy.
Mm-hmm.
Like a storm cloud.
It's Z here. But I'll also take like weird pronouns. Like what if my pronouns just said the weird ones?
The weird / ones.
I saw a non-binary comedian on Instagram be like, "Hi, my name is." I don't remember what their name was. But they were like, "My pronouns are difficult on purpose."
Yeah.
I'm non-binary. It's a new thing I've learned, and I do think it fits me really well because my favorite thing is correcting people.
Yes.
I might find this video and send it because I think that the people would enjoy it.
Yeah. You should be able to send links in my chat, but if not, there's always stream live blogging.
I'll probably put it there.
Come on, Weaver's not. Don't fail me now.
These Weavers nodding? Good for them. Good for them.
On stream?
God, we're just talking over Achilles.
No, our poor sad boy.
He's telling me not to like succumb to the violence, and it's like, man.
How are we all feeling about Emily Wilson releasing translation of the Iliad coming up here?
I might
know about
actually,
that.
I might actually read it. I hated the Iliad when I read it, but apparently, it was because like the old translation like just kind of sucked dick, and people are like, no, this one's pretty good. So I might actually read it now.
Exciting.
Yeah, I read her translation of the Odyssey, and it was alright. I personally am fond of the the Fitzgerald translation. The Lattimore translation sucks. But yeah, the Fitzgerald translation is pretty fun. And yeah, no, I do enjoy the Wilson translation.
Fitzgerald
It's an odd one.
Go on.
Yeah, they read the Fitzgerald translation aloud to us when I was in like 4th grade. The whole thing too. There was no like the Odyssey for 4th graders. They were like, nope. I remember when the Slaying of the Suitors came around, because we were the thing we were doing is they would read it aloud and we were supposed to illustrate it while it was happening. And so the Slaying of the Suitors arrives, and the teacher who's doing the reading is like, all right, kids, sharpen up your red pencils.
Just a second, actually, I've done some blackout poetry with that specific part of the Odyssey, and I've got to read it now. Where is it?
Yeah.
Okay. I've done some blackout poetry with the Slaying of the Suitors. Looking for a happy ending. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah. Okay. So this is what it looks like. This is what the blackout poetry looks like.
Oh, nice.
You can see most of it is gone, but I was looking for a happy resolution instead. And here is what it says. Restitution, no blame. Fixed, even fortunes. All hands courted pay in full. Men know, no doubt. Friends stop the fight, reinforce, and cry. The chest spiked, the sword fell and fell, cups up against the dark. I love blackout poetry.
It does make me think about the very end of the Odyssey where Athena shows up to be like, hey,
everybody calm the fuck down.
Let's just stop the cycle of violence, huh?
My personal favorite is, and the reason I'm so fond of the Fitzgerald translation is because it describes Polyphemus as, quote, dribbling liquor and bits of men.
That is a great description.
Hold on, I've got a part with Polyphemus that also reminds me of. Give me a second.
You know, a lot of blackout poetry with the Odyssey, huh?
Well, I was eventually going to turn this whole book into blackout poetry, and then I lost interest. You know how it is with ADHD.
Hello.
Hello? Hello.
Oh, hi.
That's Caveat. I might need to turn up Caveat's volume. All of Discord is a little quiet.
Give it a second, because usually my mic takes a second to warm up.
That's wild.
Got that cold mic.
Guy who just smoked multiple cigarettes. God, why is my cough so bad?
Can't make you sing if you don't want to.
Alright, here it is. Nope, that's not it. On page 69, I've done some blackout poetry. It says, heart, don't go with grief, Penelope, truly a light in Hades' dark, glimmering alive or dead. A phantom, a sigh, the air, heart soft and set on a rocky island midway between Ithaca and a lie.
Holy shit.
I'm good at this.
I love blackout poetry.
Yeah.
Also, hey, show. I see you. Turn around. Okay, here.
What translation are you working from on that?
Stanley Lombardo.
Okay, I'm not familiar with that one.
It's the one that we used in my classics course in college, so it's the one I had lying around. Here's the one I was looking for. Lambs and kids, hospitality welcome, fire sacrifice, flocks for supper. Terrified, fat, 220, bleeding sucklings, drink quickly, fire.
Good.
Thinks about asking you to marry me again.
I can't say yes any harder, baby. One more, and then I'll get back to the game. Tears fading, he slept, set with treasures, grace, and many allies. Breath now too much.
That's
about being buried with your fortune.
Good. Excuse me.
Can you tell me something more about snakes?
One thing that is fabulous, and I actually... Oh wait, no, it's not. It's not in my poetry section. It's in my religion section. I have to go find my copy of the Odyssey now, because my poetry lives on my coffee table, but my religion section's in my bedroom.
Never mind.
I'm the child of a librarian. I must alphabetize.
I also just see about the implication that poetry can be for public consumption, but religion's too personal.
To be fair, I do live in a studio apartment, so bedroom is maybe a strong term.
Thanks.
But the opening stanza of Emily Wilson's translation of the Odyssey is really, really fabulous. And it opened, and she uses an iambic pentameter, which isn't shocking, because it's a pretty natural equivalent. It's the dactylic hexameter in Greek verse is a pretty handy equivalent to iambic pentameter in English verse. But I remember literally doing a little dance at my kitchen table when I read it, because I was really excited.
Let's see if I can afford anything with all these gems from the contractor, because I need the help.
Tell me about a complicated man, Muse. Tell me how he wandered and was lost when he had wrecked the holy town of Troy, and where he went and who he met, the pain he suffered on the sea, and how he worked to save his life and bring his men back home. He failed, and for their mistakes they died. They ate the sun god's cattle, and the god kept them from home. Now, goddess, child of Zeus, tell the old story for our modern times. Find the beginning.
Fuck, that's a pretty good opening to that. I like that translation.
Do you want me to read the equivalent in my translation?
Yes.
Speak, memory of the cunning hero, the wanderer, blown off course time and again after he plundered Troy's sacred heights. Speak of all the cities he saw, the mines he grasped, the suffering deep in his heart at sea as he struggled to survive and bring his men home, but could not save them, hard as he tried, the fools, destroyed by their own recklessness, when they ate the oxen of Hyperion the sun, and that god snuffed out their day of return. Of these things speak, immortal one, and tell the tale once more in our time.
You see, yours is much more heroic.
That's the really interesting thing to me about Emily Wilson's translation is it's almost colloquial in places. Like, she calls Zeus crazy. It's interesting. I had another thought. I don't remember.
Speaking of religion and marriage, does anyone know how divorced you have to be for them to execute you if you go into the Vatican?
What, is that a thing that can happen?
I don't know. I'm the one asking questions.
She's dodging the question.
If you get 12 times divorced and you walk into the Vatican, you get to immediately fight the Pope.
Alright, who wants to get married 12 times?
Okay, I'm not quite that divorced yet. Give me 2 years, I think.
Speedrunning the Pope fight. Speedrunning the Pope boss fight.
You have to get through the Swiss Guard first, though.
Well, that's what your 12 ex spouses are for.
Ah.
Baby, do you want me to take the egg?
I like the egg, but also you were. Oh. Gotta leave. I'm getting a phone call.
I always fucking love hearing people's
Hey, Jake.
ringtones.
Doing alright.
And Matt, I had a thought about the Odyssey, and then it disappeared.
What if I just take the coin purse? Yeah, let's just take the coin purse. Fuck it. I still haven't beaten the game, but I'm playing on controller, which I'm not as good with. I mean, okay, I have another file where I was playing mouse and keyboard, and, like, I've beaten it. I'm in, like, post-end game shit. You know what I mean? Your special is now stronger and can deflect. Your cast can deflect. Your dash can deflect. That's, yeah. Am I streaming to y'all? Probably not.
Yeah, or not.
There. Now, if y'all so choose, you can watch me in real time.
Yeah, I took a class. I've taken a few classes from this one guy because I adore him. But I took a class from him on ancient Mediterranean, so it was like a 100 level like history course. But we read so much shit. We read Atrahasis and Gilgamesh and the Theodicy? No, wait. Fucking, what's his name? Why can't I
Xenophon.
remember? No,
Dr. Racism.
No, it's a Greek. It's a Greek text. Classical. Son of a bitch.
Not the dialogues.
We did read Plato.
When I was in college, I was in the honors college.
Mm-hmm.
Spin attack makes you sturdy and pulse damage, or attack to strike. Yeah, I'm just gonna strike very rapidly. If you were in the honors college and you weren't taking an English course, you could take this. I forget what they called it, but it was this other course where for the first semester you would read a bunch of classics, and then for the second semester you would read modern stuff, or at least stuff printed from 200 AD onward.
Mm-hmm.
And if you were an English major, those would count for your like philosophy or like some humanities or something.
Social sciences?
Yeah. Not particularly relevant to me because I wasn't taking an English degree. And it was jointly taught by like a bunch of different professors in the honors college. Like they would take turns. And it was great having 11 professors. There would be 2 hours of lectures per week, and then 1 hour of like discussion time. And so you kind of had like a home room. And that's when I read the Odyssey, I read the Iliad, I read Xenophon. I ended up having to read some Freud in like the modernity class, which was... It gives you perspective, is what I'm gonna say.
Yeah, no. I thankfully managed to dodge Freud. But yeah, no, my favorite religion professor. I took a bunch of classes from him. Yeah, I took this ancient Mediterranean class. He was wonderful. Where I met my ex. And then I took a New Testament early Christianity course from him. This was where I was writing those essays that Maya and I were talking about a different time on stream. And I took Hebrew Bible from him also. He was fabulous.
You truly are an idiot, aren't you?
When I was doing psychology in high school, like, we heard a little about Freud, and it was basically just them, like, outlining the major layers in modern philosophy, and they brought up Freud, and they were just like, yeah, so, Freud's ideas, we have no reason to believe they work, and they have historically been used in problematic ways. But we still learn it just because we have to.
Yeah. A good thing to know about Freud is that a lot of so he's called the father of psychology because the rest of the field of psychology is basically dedicated to showing how wrong he was.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a certain level of. I believe I've heard him referred to as a decent anthropologist of upper class European men.
Yeah.
And then he just sort of extrapolated, was like, everyone's like this, right?
When you understand that a lot of his stuff was written in order to sort of like soothe and confirm the biases of the men who would pay for the therapy he was giving to abused women, it all kind of slots into place, you know?
Yeah.
He's not quite like InfoWars level of like twisting the truth, but you can see.
No, and I think that, and again, you do the number of men who want their girlfriend to be like
That's the chaos, but
a mom who has sex with them.
it's been aiding me in my attempts to flee my
Yeah.
Is not negligible. So yeah, like he was noticing a thing that was happening. He just again he was just willing to take money to say that everyone was that way, so you didn't have to worry about it.
Yeah, because he was trying to, like, soothe a bunch of ain't shit men that them being ain't shit was, like, normal.
Yeah.
Let's see. 3 encounters take more damage than your dash strike deals. Your life total is reduced. Afterwards, your attack deals more damage. This one's probably safest. This one's probably the most bombastic. I think I'm gonna take that.
Let's see what happens.
Just hope that I don't end up at the boss too soon.
I thought I'd find you here.
Misread my schedule. I thought I was starting work at 4 today, and it turns out I'm starting at 6. But now I'm in like waiting mode all day.
Oh god, no, ADHD, totally get it.
Yeah, the ADHD autism cocktail where it's like, well, nothing
I have a
can
thing to
happen.
do at 6, so I can't do anything else today.
Yep.
The thing is, if you start doing something, you'll want to keep doing it.
Yeah, it's the task
Yeah.
switching being impossible thing. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Yep. And the like, it's the task switching and the time blindness.
Yeah, yep.
Of being like, well, if I get sucked into a thing, next thing I know, I'll look up and it'll be 6:30, and my boss will want to know where the hell I am.
Like, I had a dinner to go to today, and earlier I was thinking, well, it's not in a while. I could like hang out with my friend in the meantime, and I was like, no, because you'll have to say goodbye to them,
Fine, go.
and you're not gonna do that.
That's been the weirdest result of mono for me, is the energy levels thing. Because I'm really not used to not having the energy to do all the stuff I want to do. Like, obviously with stuff that I don't really want to do, I'll be like, too tired. Or even, it'll be like in anticipation of going somewhere, and I'll be like, I'm too tired to go to this thing, but usually once I get there, I'll be fine. But I like, you know, I'll have like some friends over at my apartment, and I'll be like, oh my god, I have to tell them to leave now. Like, I have to tell them to leave. Because that hasn't really been a problem for me up until now.
My whole brain has been absolutely fucking wild since I got hit by a car. Yeah, plus, I'm on a new SNRI, and that also makes it hard for me to know, like, honestly, how much of all of this is, like what exactly is causing the whoopsie-doos in my brain. But, honestly,
Yeah.
it's been pretty great, because I just kind of say things as they happen in my head. And, like, maybe I've been more of a bitch, but nobody's been complaining. I don't know. Getting hit by a semi kind of, like, makes everyone go, you know what? That's fair.
Yeah.
Hey, Sylph, thanks for the subscription. Funny by Sexy Game, go burr. I'm a funny by Sexy as well. And I do go burr.
We had a lot of those around here.
Something like Stream of Consciousness. Yeah, honestly, it's like... Yeah, Stream of Consciousness is a good way to put it. I just don't, like, sit there and, like, inspect and worry about everything I say all the time before I say it anymore. Like, I just say it. And I trust that the people around me are going to tell me if I upset them. And if they don't, that's on them.
Yeah.
Lady Aphrodite, I am...
Lasting relationships are built on reciprocity.
I'm honored, Aphrodite.
Alrighty, Aphrodite.
A little bird once told me that the shade of the great hero called Achilles now resides within your father's residence, dear.
Your special deals more damage. After you take damage, your cast is a wide. I'm going to take Wave of Despair because I need to, and it's epic. I don't necessarily like taking revenge damage stuff, but 'twas prophesied.
Not the best with the spear because you're usually at distance,
Mhm.
but it's still just a good It's still just a good boon. I've never read the subtitle to the boons before.
Hard-earned wealth on my account, dearest?
Like the little title underneath the god's name. I didn't know that was there.
Oh. The most radiant of the Olympians holds mortal beings in her thrall. Those sound like angel names from Kill 6 Billion Demons.
What is this kill 6 billion demons thing I've been hearing about?
It's really good. It's very Wuxia inspired, and the guy that writes it also made the Lancer game.
Is Guy accurate?
I don't think that they'd be upset if I referred to them as a guy. Pretty sure they use he him pronouns. He uses, I don't know. I just fucking work here. The author goes by the tag Apollyon within the context of Kill 6 Billion Demons, but I can't remember exactly, but I think their name is like Wilson or something.
They go by Abaddon.
Abaddon, that's it. Special deals more damage. Let's go with attack, just because I've already got attack pretty stacked.
I don't know. I had Abaddon pegged as a lesbian just from seeing their work.
Pegging Abaddon? I don't know. I don't know the motherfucker. Like, you know. And like I wouldn't go ask. But sometimes they're active in the Lancer Discord.
I finally met Hermes, kind of
I mean, they literally work there.
Yeah, they do work there. Let me go check. They might have their pronouns listed in PilotNet. And then we could stop arguing, and then we just know.
Yeah.
I think Miguel is one of the artists. I don't think that's the author.
Yeah, I have pronouns listed in their Twitter.
Well,
Their-
guess
their
it's none of
Twitter
our
handle is-
business.
Their Twitter handle is fucking orbital dropcake.
to thank me, mate.
They're like one of the coolest motherfuckers on the internet that I haven't met.
Time to face the Furies.
I can't tell you how wild it is to be friends with Seb, because Seb will just like go up to people and be like, hey, you want to hang out? And it'll be like award-winning authors, and they'll be like, yeah, sure, whatever. And then I'm just like hanging out in the...
smug about
Huh?
the stream. I was feeling very smug about the stream yesterday.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
because Seb asked me to ask Garrison to come on.
Oh, fuck. My fucking, one of my, controller sticks will get stuck sometimes, and it is bad.
Are you using a PlayStation controller like a civilized human?
Nope.
Unfortunate.
I mean, I'm using like a PlayStation style controller, but it's not brand name.
Oh, well.
It's Logitech.
Lately, I've been reconsidering my stance on the PlayStation controller because while it's much more ergonomic, just for like using, like it's easier to reach all the buttons and it's not as cumbersome.
Nice chat.
When you've been using it for a really long time, And when I say long, I mean like most days for about 5 years. It gets like the grip is kind of thin, and it means you have to close your hand harder around it. What I'm considering doing is like putting a blanket on the underside or something so I can grip around it, but the grip will be wider.
Now we're getting somewhere.
I don't have any advice, and normally I do. Yeah, I think trying to apply resin around it would just be like messy and difficult.
Yeah, I don't see it. Like, here's the thing: is that this isn't an always problem. This is just a sometimes problem. What I would like is like fat grips. Do you know what fat grips are?
I can guess by the name.
Yeah, there's like a thing you wrap around a barbell or a handle to make it wider, so that you can't like properly wrap your hand around it.
I know I've given him at least one gift because I have his thingamajiggy.
For me, cuz. My brothers, sisters, family, whatnot, they're unaware I'm working with you here. It's no big deal, but let's keep it that way for now.
He looks so young in the art. It's so funny to me.
This is a 12-year-old boy. No, this is a 12-year-old man.
Oh, I love when you're on COCOM. I don't have to worry about being funny.
Stand fucking corrected. Look at this man's juicy fucking quadriceps.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I just want to gnaw on those hams. I really do.
This motherfucker's elbow.
I want to gnaw on his hams. I feel like they referenced the Michelangelo for that arm. Or the David. By Michelangelo.
Possibly. I mean, the David is just basically a picture of a guy.
Yeah. Oh, anyone who doesn't know, by the way, David is carved out of like garbage marble. It was just a flex on Michelangelo's part.
I love Michelangelo because he was a huge bitch.
Yes.
My favorite is putting his own face on the skin of Saint Bartholomew.
The haste of Hermes.
And also having those angels make fakes at the Pope.
And Saint Bartholomew was flayed, wasn't he?
Yeah, so he's holding his skin on the Sistine Chapel ceiling, and Michelangelo put his own face on the skin.
That's so cool.
Yeah, he rules.
That's pretty goth, honestly.
Also, that shop I was telling you about, Dion, that does those mobility aid stickers, they have, I'm pretty sure it's the same shop. They have had one that, do I have permission to cash in the one slur per stream?
Yes.
Okay. They have one that says, call me a cripple and I'll call you an ambulance.
I don't even think TOS, is, like, mad about that one.
Yeah, they should be, but they're not gonna be.
Yeah. That was just as much a heads up to everybody else.
Yeah. That's fair.
They've got the questions $5 sticker, and they've got one that says "fuck around and find out." That's a wheelchair user with like a shotgun.
God, one of my favorite stickers that I've ever seen was a sticker on a semi-auto that said "This machine plays folk music."
Incredible.
God, I love whenever I see, like, the drop in my blood pressure is sometimes almost dangerous whenever I see somebody try to tell Tom Morello he needs to stick to, like, music and not talk about politics.
Who's that guy?
Tom Morello is from Rage Against the Machine. He has a degree in, like, political sciences from Stanford.
Uh-huh.
And he's also half black.
And he also is in Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah. Well, see, a bunch of people think that, fuck you, I won't do what you tell me is supposed to be directed at their mothers.
Yeah, that's my
there's,
favorite thing is seeing people be like, wow, I can't believe that my favorite band, Rage Against the Machine, would dare to broach politics. It's like, yeah.
You are an adorable organism, aren't you?
What am I saying?
Just a second, I was getting a sound alert, and I don't have that tab up, because I'm a bad streamer, very bad streamer.
The streamer cops are coming for you now.
They'll never take me alive. God. Also, FYI, the cops couldn't find the semi truck that hit me, so I might still be on the hook for paying off my car.
Oof.
Yeah. Big surprise, right?
Yeah.
I don't think they look too hard. Alt menu,
Exactly.
thank you for the follow. Now I've got that tab up. I'm a better streamer for your follow. Yeah, I mean, it does suck, but at least I'm alive.
Yeah.
Here goes nothing.
I mean, funeral rites are even more fucking annoying to perform than, like, fixing your car.
Oh, they're not fixing my car. That shit got smushed. She used to be a four-door sedan, and now she's the size of a smart car.
Funeral rites for your car, then.
Yeah. You know, she was named, and we had done, like, a little... So we traveled across the country in her. And May did, like, some spells and stuff about it. You know? And one of them was, like, awakening the, like, a daemon to attach to the car. To keep us safe and protected and stuff. Anyway, the car's name was Shirley Ia Divine. Because she was a Yaris IA.
Nice.
You'd fucking love the Mechanicum from Warhammer.
Yeah.
My gay aunt used to have a Toyota Yaris named Tiny Elvis.
Aww.
My mom is about to give me her car, which I'm looking forward to. It's a 2008 lifted Subaru Impreza. And I need to figure out what to name it. She is a lesbian, obviously.
Violence.
But yeah, no, it's... I'm so excited to have a car that was made before 2012. Driving my dad has like a 2019 Outback, and driving that thing, it like tries to drive for you, and I hate it.
Alt menu says praise the Omnissiah. Is that a Warhammer thing?
Yeah. So, the belief that the Mechanicum hold, this is what's known as the Machine Cult.
Yeah, they're the
Hey,
ones
darling.
that, like, the something something flesh sucks, all glory to the machine.
The flesh is weak, etc. Yeah, they believe in a machine god
Mecha Catholics?
who had a prophet called the Omnissiah, who's like machine Jesus.
I prefer the Dark Mechanicus.
The flesh is weak, give me your bones. Alt menu coming in strong, new follower, good good sense of humor.
The thing is, they have a tenuous relationship with mankind, because they do follow a religion which was originally against the tenets of mankind, because the Emperor hated religion in all forms.
Great.
And after that, there was a state-mandated religion upon all humans, which was worship of the God Emperor, who you may notice was the guy who hated religion.
Mm-hmm.
But we're not going to get into that, because that would take me another hour to explain upon the 2 hours I'm going to spend explaining this.
So this thing called the Horus Heresy, and there are several books about it.
I was gonna say, this reminds me of Horace from Lancer.
Yeah, so the reason that they didn't immediately fucking kill the entire Mechanicum as soon as they found out that they worship a machine god that isn't the Emperor or nothing, is because it would be too difficult. So they just
keep the machines
they
running.
They were just like, okay, we'll just you can chill. You can chill on Mars.
There can be one religion. And then two. In the 41st millennium, it counts as 2 now. Because the reason that they tolerate them in this day and age is because they make all your guns. And if you kill them all, you don't have guns to shoot at the fucking orcs. And people really like their guns in 40k.
It's not that people like their guns. It's that if you don't have a gun, you might as well just forget about it. Like, you need your gun, and that's why the Mechanicum is important, because their concept is you have to pray to your gun or it doesn't shoot.
Okay, so there's also a sort of similar thing in Dune, where everyone hates the Ixians.
Oh yeah, no, Warhammer 40k is mostly a ripoff of Dune.
It's mostly a ripoff of everything.
That's fair. It pulls from everything.
Yeah, all of that.
But a lot of it very directly from Dune. The God Emperor, genetic warriors, the whole kind of like grand, grim space opera vibe.
I'm going to look through the 21 Space Marine legions, and I'm going to tell you every reference I can think of. Just from there.
Alright, well, I'm in a boss battle, so...
Oh yeah, I mean, they reference everything eventually, but, like, a lot of the core concepts are what I'm talking about.
They have a whole faction.
God Emperors are a pretty old thing. That's, you know, you do have a point. Y'all ever heard of, Gilgamesh?
Yeah, but, like, okay...
They have a whole species that is simultaneously based on the Egyptians and the Terminator movies.
That's perfect.
Well, okay.
If anybody had any balls, they would do more shit like that.
I'm thinking about Gilgamesh now.
But I mean, also, the God Emperor is pretty much the Kwisatz Haderach. He's human, but he's the most human.
I feel like the Kwisatz Haderach specifically being able to access like genetic memory, it like is a very specific thing that if I saw somebody else doing it, I'd be like, ah, yeah. But like the thing about Dune is that it laid the groundwork for so much of like sci-fi in general. That
That's
being
true.
like, oh, it rips off Dune. Like my fucking sci-fi horror podcast rips off Dune. Which is in the works. It's a work in progress, y'all. I'm not gonna start actually working on production until I have at least like 5 episodes written. Are you kidding?
Yeah, we get most of the first season at least written, if not edited. We have a solid base to start from. Oh, god damn it.
Kingiest King is the funny title. Darius the Kingiest King. Can I hear it in its original language? Because I don't feel like that was...
Oh, I also wanted to ask if you want dumplings.
There's only enough for really one person left. From what I saw.
Would anyone care if I had the last of the dumplings? Probably. I've had quite a few. But also my greed for dumplings is staggering.
That's the thing about dumplings.
They're very good.
They are. Well, the thing about dumplings for me is because they're always very, like... They're always very, like, deceptive in their quantity. Because I'll make what I think is, like, the right amount, and then it's either, like, only slightly not enough, so then if I make another, like, round, then it's too many, or it's just way too many. There's no appropriate way to portion dumplings for just me.
You just make too many, and then you just freeze them and fry them up as you go.
Yeah, we made like 150 a couple days ago, and they are all gone.
Oh no, I don't mean making them from scratch. I mean just like making them to eat right now.
Oh yeah.
Like, I do tend to keep lots in my freezer. I still have some pierogi in there, but yeah, like, no, it's the literal act of I need to make some dumplings to eat right now. Excuse me, and then, yeah, and then I either make way too many dumplings or just not enough dumplings that another round is too many.
Yeah.
So, I'm currently looking at the fucking Space Marine Legions, and what strikes me is how many of these are the same reference, but with another reference taped to it.
I love the ones that are just literal translations of their name for a lot of them.
Fucking Ferrus Manus, with his metal hands, and his sons, the Iron Hands. His hands aren't even iron.
They're more like Quicksilver.
Yeah, it's a metal called Necrodermis, which is just it's a fucking reference to Terminator 2.
I do kind of love how many things will have a guy who's made out of metal, and even if it's not even a little bit iron, they'll be like, it's you know, it's Iron Man, or he's got iron hands, or iron, like...
The Iron Fist.
You know, he's made out of literally a very different metal, but we're still gonna call him Iron, because that's the best we got.
Iron just sounds cool.
It's evocative.
I don't even think that, like, here's the thing, is that nothing is made of iron.
Not even iron is made of iron. Do you know what pig iron is made of?
What?
Pigs.
Oh no.
Like, yeah, even like, cast iron pans are not a lot of iron either.
Wait, what are they made of?
It's an iron alloy.
Yeah. The thing is that iron is, on its own, is not
very brittle. Very brittle.
Yeah. I will say I have become a recent convert to the carbon steel pan.
That's what iron pans are made out of. It's carbon and iron, and then if you put in more carbon, it's something else, and then...
Yeah.
If you do it the right way.
Like, my carbon steel pan, I have a little one, and it's my best friend in the whole world. And I have, like, a cheap, bigger, cast iron skillet, which is good, it's useful, but I need, like, a whole set of carbon steel pans. Cause
we should put carbon steel pan on our wedding registry.
I mean, we have iron. We have plenty of cookware, baby.
You're right. We do have so
much
much
literally
cookware.
just threw some out because we had too much.
Oh yeah. There are actually two legions. The Iron Warriors and the Iron Hands. And
one of you have to be steel.
They are both like transhumanists who make a lot of machines and are all about like steadfast strength. And their Primarchs are both huge, really strong guys who wield hammers and are
don't talk much.
No, one of them talks all the fucking time. He's just a petty bitch who hates everyone for good reason.
Yeah, I mean, if I lived in Warhammer, I think I'd hate everyone.
He's like, here's the thing, is most people in Warhammer are like mean. This guy is just like ideologically a bitch. And I don't mean like he's like a pussy or anything. I mean he is just a stone cold, bare-faced bitch.
You know what? I'm contrarian. Perturabo did nothing wrong, actually.
Forrest did nothing wrong. I don't even go here.
I'm gonna section both of you.
You know what? Yeah, you know what? Humans suck. Horus should have become the next Chaos God.
Horus was never gonna become a fucking Chaos God.
Yeah, he was. Have you heard about the most recent book?
When did they say that? I haven't read the fucking heresy books.
In the most recent one, they say that basically he was doing the same thing that to humanity what Slanesh did to the Eldari, if he had succeeded.
Well, I feel like he had a lot more help.
We don't know much about how Slanesh came to be, like the specifics of it. We've never had a book actually set in the fall of the Eldari.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably never going to happen because it was so long ago that the authors don't have any characters they can refer back to.
There's one. They get one character.
Literally one.
Yeah.
Maybe Kane.
They could do some Necrons too, in theory.
Fucking Kane. Do you want to know what Kane's story is? He's the Eldar god of war and murder who managed to escape the fall of the Eldar and was not consumed by the freshly spawned Chaos God because he literally just fought his way out tooth and nail.
Hell yeah.
Literally
Give that
just
guy
beat the
rights.
shit. No, don't give him rights. He's an awful piece of shit.
I know.
I mean, he's better than almost every.
He's good at it.
He's better than almost every other god in the setting.
Gotta murder better than almost every god in the setting. This is why I don't like Warhammer. This is why I don't want to go there.
Yeah.
I mean, like Khorne's kind of like mid compared to the other Chaos gods for some reason.
Khorne is
despite the
heavily
fact that
mid.
despite
This is
the
a joke
fact
about the
that
band.
He really should be winning, considering that there's always war, and he's the god of war.
Well, he's very dumb, you see. He's got some serious
try to pronounce this.
himbo energy.
Satya say see Tiatyanam.
The S with the diacritic on it is a sh sound.
Yeah, also I don't know if that's Kon or Modern Greek, and I have only just started to learn Modern Greek, so...
Well, good attempt.
I'm still trying to parse all the fucking references here. The first one is maybe my favorite.
You guys,
like, I don't know how to move past it.
have any of you guys read Canticle for Leibowitz? It's one of my favorite sci-fi novels. It's one of the very first post-apocalyptic sci-fi novels. Well, very first like post-atomic war sci-fi novels.
On like every planet?
I don't.
I've
not read any sci-fi novels from a planet that isn't Earth.
Oh.
So as far as I know, it's the oldest of its
You bet you know you're on that.
Yeah, what the fuck?
You're reading.
Haven't you read
Earth-centric.
I'm pretty sure Dune was written on Earth. I don't know about Frank Herbert's travels.
To be fair, he did steal the sandworm from Mongolian mythology, so.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
And the
there's a
professor
fucking
got really annoyed
Mongolian
about that.
Space Marine Legion, by the way.
I know. But anyway, Canticle.
For those who
Wait,
don't know.
wait. Are they on horseback?
No.
No.
They're fucking hovering motorcycles.
They
were trained on horseback.
The Mongolian-themed Imperial Guard Legion is on horseback.
Okay, but also you know that like Mongolian legions even all over that shit.
Okay, I can't hear you when you
Yeah, no.
I can't hear you.
Yeah, modern Mongolians do that as well.
It
fucking
rules. It fucking rules.
I don't think they have like bows though, because their arm is so bulky that they wouldn't be able to put their arms in front of them.
That seems like a design flaw.
It is, and
It's a
honestly,
design
I
flaw in
kinda
the
hate-
old models, actually.
Yeah, I kind of just hate James Workshop for never fixing that.
Well, you see, here's the thing. Modeling was really hard back in the day, and they had like 2 guys who knew how to do it.
Was one of them the guy who did the old shitty Eldar models?
Yep, and those old original Terminators. They look like eggs.
Oh yeah, the fucking that shit that people call Saturnine armor these days.
Yep.
It's such a fucking funny armor.
That was
Love
one
that
of
description. God, this armor's just so fucking sad.
It looks like
Miserable
if somebody
armor.
ran an early Fallout game's power armor through an AI generator.
In the grim darkness
Theseus
of the...
literally just said, "I can't pass him as long as he lives and breathes."
Well,
buddy,
we got great news.
So I can just walk through? Hello?
Fuck, who killed Theseus? Did he? Someone gotta have got him,
Who
right?
killed Theseus?
I did.
Oh, good. I don't remember. I took the Greek mythology course. You think I'd know? I could probably dig out my notes somewhere.
There are so many fucking myths about Theseus because the Athenians loved the guy.
More proof that the Athenians fucking suck and everyone should give Thebes way more, like, credence.
My favorite fact about classical Athens was that, I mean, it sucks, but it's also sort of almost funny sometimes. Like, that was probably, like, laws about the freedom of women and women in classical Athens were more restrictive than, like, women's rights during, like, the Enlightenment, which is saying a lot. Because if you were, like, in, like, the Greeks, or not the Greeks, the classical Athenians, excuse me, had, like, laws about fucking women couldn't go outside without a male chaperone.
Women were considered ritually unclean.
Yes, and also, like, legally children. But they couldn't go outside without a male escort, specifically because everyone assumed that they were so horny that they would just jump somebody. Like, they couldn't control themselves in public. And also, if your husband died, like, at least during the Enlightenment, if your husband died, you could, be a widow with your fancy jacket or whatever. Classical Athens, if your husband died, in his will, you would be deeded back to a member of his family.
Yeah, all from a brother.
Mm-hmm.
I think we should give Athenians even fewer rights, but at least they're not Spartans.
Yeah, I love when people try and pull the girl power thing on Spartan, like, Spartan women having rights, and it's like, yeah, so the reason, my professor, one of my favorite professors, got super, super mad about the movie 300, at one point, like, somebody, like, asked him about it, I think specifically to hear him, like, just get mad about it, and he was like, that is the most ahistorical, transphobic, like, weird, racist, like, Orientalist shit I've ever seen. Xerxes was not an 8-foot-tall drag queen.
Yeah.
Spartan society was like that because their population was 90% slaves. Like, fucking, the Persian Empire banned slavery. Like, he was so pissed. It was amazing.
There were almost no actual Spartans in Sparta.
Yeah, they literally, like, 90% of the population was, like, imported slaves.
And it was almost entirely hoplites, yeah. And the reason that upper class Spartan women had so much power was because the men...
All of the men were at war!
Well, no, so the thing is, Sparta actually didn't really want to go to war.
No.
Because they knew that if the men left Sparta, there would be a slave uprising.
The military existed to put down the slave revolts that were constantly a threat.
Yeah, they would pick the smartest seeming slaves and they would kill them. To prevent any sort of, like, to try to prevent any kind of leadership arising.
Newt is just shrieking.
Yeah. Also, when the few times they did go to war, they often got beat.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They weren't great
Gee,
at the
I
whole
wonder
war
why.
thing.
Yeah, it turns out.
Like,
it was all a lot of posturing, and, like, we know that.
My favorite group to beat them, which beat them a few times very decisively, is the Sacred Band of Thebes.
Yeah.
Which is an army of lovers.
I love those people.
Me too. Back when I considered myself a gay guy, I used to think that the male equivalent of lesbian should have been Theban.
Sapphic. The male equivalent of Sapphic.
No, lesbian, because lesbian based on the location. Lesbos.
Yeet.
People based on that because Sappho was from Lesbos.
Yes, but in the same way that Sacred Band is from Thebes.
Basically the same word.
Yeah, so Thebians.
Yeah, no,
So I don't know if any gay guys out there want to use that word, go for it.
Yeah, I've seen people say like, "Oh, it's cringe to call yourself a Killian" or da 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 da. It's like, who give a fuck? Calls myself the F slur.
Literally.
Yeah, you can also just do that.
Yeah, that to me is like genuinely the most accurate term for me. Both in terms of gender and sexuality.
Yeah, I get that.
Because I was at my Ides of March party on Saturday night. I was